Let's get back to earnings and Lyft. The rideshare company reported before the bell this morning. CEO David Risher joins us live from New York City to discuss. And the basics of it are that bookings, the outlook missed estimates or street expectations. The stock is down significantly. What is happening right now with Lyft, the environment that Lyft finds itself in?
Yeah. So, hey, Ed, it's good to see you again. I mean, look, to me, it's a little curious, right? And this is sort of the way the world works sometimes. So we just had our first profitable quarter ever, which is an enormous accomplishment, thanks to a lot of work with the team. Revenue grew 40% year on year, bookings and rides around mid-teens, 17%, $256 million of free cash. So, and service levels that are fantastic, fastest pickups we've had in a long time, fastest or more drivers than we've ever had. So all those things are incredibly strong and they indicate a strong marketplace. And we reiterated our full year guidance and our multi-year guidance as well,
yes,
mid-teen growth. So all those things are good. I think what people are looking at is they're seeing what I would consider to be, incredibly small, sort of kind of adjustment around what we've said about the future, the next quarter, the next couple of quarters. And this to me sort of signifies, sort of the world we live in. Like the things that we think about are 160 billion rides in the US in total, private cars. And we are little by little, in a very, very disciplined and customer-obsessed way, growing our business. I think Wall Street sometimes looks at short-term things and gets a little bit overly focused on that. I'm thinking about the long term and super excited about the prospects.
David, there's some David Risher strategy and plans that I see playing out, like Price Lock, a paid feature. That's going to have an impact maybe on the top and bottom line, but why is that the plan for you?
Yeah, so Price Lock is a way for riders to lock in a price, just like it sounds like, on the same route and same time every day. It's really meant for commuters. And it's available today, by the way. I encourage everyone to check it out. It's kind of in soft launch. And the idea is it takes away that what I think is one of the most hated features of all rideshare, which is surge pricing, right? And we're sort of trying to get rid of it. We can never get rid of it completely, but we can certainly give riders a way to basically pay a small subscription fee and lock themselves into a consistent price. I think it's great, and I think it's the sort of thing that's going to grow the business in the long term. Of course, it's an investment, right? And you always, invest in new features that you have a lot of conviction around. But this, again, is our customer obsession, is what drives profitable growth.
Okay.
And again, we're profitable now, and we think this is going to be a great growth driver for us.
Advertising is a battleground as well. I am so familiar with the Lyft app, but why is advertising the way to go? And with who, with what, right? You think about parallel industries.
Yeah. So, think about, of course, let's zoom way out for a second. Since the history of advertising, brands have tried to come up with new ways to talk to their consumers, right? And 100 years ago, maybe it was billboards, then maybe it was radio ads, then maybe TV ads, obviously more recently, internet advertising. We see this kind of mobile advertising, literally advertising that comes to you in the car where you're going, as an incredibly important, effectively a sector that we're really going to help build out. And because if you think about it, and reflecting on some of the earlier conversations you were having around Reddit, for example, we have an enormous amount of first-party data, right? 2 million rides a day, every one of them going to a 7-Eleven or a Starbucks or a, whatever it might be. And that's first-party data that's very indicative of what it is that riders want to do. And so our media business has grown significantly. We're up significantly year on year. And we're really optimistic that it's going to be a whole new form of advertising and media that'll go super great.
David, when I reported that Tesla was delaying its robo-taxi event to October, the shares of your company jumped in that session. The Vision is a proprietary app from Tesla for ride-hailing, but a fleet of cars that drive themselves, Teslas. Your stock went up on the basis that everyone was like, okay, the competition from Tesla's not yet coming. Just your latest thinking on that, please.
Yeah. Look, I think AVs are going to be great for Lyft. I really do. And I think it's because we're going to be the best way to commercialize what is a very, very expensive asset. Different companies will try different things, but I think largely you'll have a lot of OEMs doing a lot in the AV space and wanting them on our platform because of millions of rides, all the technology we have to incorporate cars in our platform and so forth. I don't want to comment on Tesla. I don't know. We'll see kind of how that goes. But I do think that creating your own thing, a kind of closed network, it's a fraught strategy, and maybe a different strategy would be to figure out a way to get your cars that you've built and your technology, as broadly available to as many as possible.
David Risher, the CEO of Lyft, thank you so much for joining us.